It's another wonderful day, and I say good afternoon to you. Welcome to another beautiful, beautiful Saturday here, right here on Zoe Light Radio. And you welcome to Word Through Music. Word Through Music. Last week, we had Akosia Owusua based in the UK with an awesome time speaking about her family and how she began her music. My name is Pastor Anthony Simpson. But today we have another wonderful brother, another wonderful man of God. His name is Minister Evans Ighodalo. And I know that you're going to enjoy the time we're going to spend in a tete-a-tete. I mean, talking about how he began in ministry, talking about how he started, and the songs, family life, and church and all that. But before we do that, we're going to go for his video. We're going to enjoy one of his songs, and when we come back, we'll continue the interview from there. So let's go for his video.
Holy Father, you are reverenced in this place. Awesome ruler, you are reverenced in this place. Great and mighty God, you are reverenced in this place. Beginning and the end, yes you are. You are referenced in this place. Have your way. Oh, oh, oh. Have your way. Oh, oh, oh. You are reverenced in this place. Mighty ruler, you are reverenced in this place. Oh God, our Father, you are reverenced in this place. First and the last, yes you are. You are reverenced in this place. Have your way. Oh, 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 oh. Have your way. Oh, 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 oh. Canele bossari ane bossate ana, cane yara bosse cane, mare ne bossana ne bo, cale yare bosse na, ine sumore bossane akate ana. Holy Father, you are reverenced in this place. Oh yes, you are. Oh, my defender, you are reverenced in this place. Oh yes, you are. Awesome ruler, you are reverenced. You are welcome. You are honored here. We worship you, God. We honor you. We reverence you, God. You are mighty, you are awesome, you are worthy, God. Hey, awesome, Abba Father, you are worthy, God. You are awesome, Father. I will worship you forever. Oh, oh.
welcome back there from that wonderful, wonderful music video from Minister Evans Ighodalo, and that's Have Your Way. Just a sleek voice, and just listening to that song, you could feel the anointing and the presence of God. And that's why I'm always excited anytime I have to interview a minstrel like that, filled with the Holy Ghost, God's blessings all over as the song played. And so I'm going to go. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I'm going to go for Minister Evans, and we're going to have a tete-a-tete talk together and ask him how he began. Has it been smooth? What are the challenges? And also how far he has gotten. So let me go for Minister Evans and here. How are you, man of God? Good afternoon and welcome to Word Through Music. It's exciting to have you here, sir.
Thank you, Pastor Anthony Simpson. Thank you for having me. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon and welcome to Word Through Music. Now, to kick things starting this afternoon, tell me how it all began for you. There are those who started at the age of 4, some started 6, some started at the age of 7, some even as young as 3. They knew how to sing. What is your story? Tell us, sir.
Okay, my family is a family that love music. I grew up in the house where my dad had so many music at home, secular music, gospel music. So I was exposed to music quite early in life. Then as a teenager, that's about in 1999, I gave my heart to the Lord. That was 2 years after I lost my mom. So that decision, I think the best decision I ever made. After she passed, because we're kind of close. So I gave my heart to the Lord in February 1999 in a Redeemed Christian Church of God called Jesus Embassy.
Wow.
In a city called Ibadan in Nigeria. So that was where it all started from. And when I joined the church, and then I joined the music team. And so it all started in 1999 for the gospel music.
How old were you at that time?
I was a teenager at that time.
Okay.
I think I was there about. You want to know my age, right?
No, don't worry about that.
But I was not yet 20, and I was about 15 then.
Okay.
So I was kind of
in between. I understand. So now, I mean, sorry to hear that your mom passed. I also had my growing up in Lagos. I used to live in Okbabi, Ikeja.
Oh,
yes.
awesome.
So I grew up in Lagos, and I know how it is. It is like growing up in Lagos. Now, when you discovered that you could sing after mom passed away, did you envisage that it could be something you could do that could carry you forward, could carry you for a long time, or it was something that you thought you were just going to be doing at church alone, and then that was the end?
Thank you very much. When it all started, then I was just doing it because I just love the Lord and I wanted to serve in the church, and I wanted to, allow people to experience this new joy that I found. And for me, music was the only thing that could give me the comfort then, And so going into the gospel music I didn't see it then as something that I'll be doing in a large scale, So I was just busy serving.
And so now, if like you said, you were just busy serving God, but you didn't know you were going to carry it in a long time. At what point did you realize that you want to just carry it further, not really in the church? At what point did you start thinking that?
God started giving me songs almost immediately. So I started writing and composing. I remember in year 2000 and 2001, three guys plus myself, making four of us, four young brothers, we came together to form a group called Clay Jazz.
Wow.
We used to say that we're the clay that God should make and mold us, into what He wants us to become. So
Okay.
we started performing at different shows. We're still very committed to the choir.
Mm.
So it continued like that until 2005. I was posted out to start with a pastor to go direct a new choir with a pastor in the New Redeemed Christian Church of God that was given birth to them
Mm.
in Ibadan, Nigeria. So it started becoming clearer as I walked along the path.
Mm.
So, but not until 2015,
Okay.
having served in different capacities in different ministries, I think about three ministries,
Mm.
that I decided to record my first single, Drink from the River,
Okay.
which was an instant, song that was accepted, especially in my band and where in the church that I was serving with at the time.
Mm. Mm.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, Drink from the River was the first one you, made an attempt to record, or you recorded actually
Yes, in 2015.
in 2015. Exactly. So now, as when you recorded Drink from the River,
River.
did you, how did it fare? How did it go? Did you get support from church? Did you get support from your pastor? Did you get support from the church choir? How did it fare?
Thank you very much. Well, when I released my first song, then I think I sent it to my pastor.
Mm.
I sent it then to my pastor and my music director also, and with some of my friends. And the response was commendable from my
Mm.
friends and people around, and the entire public, because it was published by Praise World Radio,
Okay.
which is owned by a dear friend of mine also. So
Mm.
that was how we started.
Okay. Okay.
So, for me, gospel music for me is like a message.
Mm.
So where you need to share it beyond the four walls of your church.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the church is always a place to start from. Charity, they say, begins at home. So,
Yeah.
and then when you start from there, the message spreads out,
Mm.
which
Mm.
was exactly what happened.
Mm. Mm. Interesting there. So, in terms of the support from the church, I mean, as you explained, they were all there for you and they supported you. And one profound thing that you said is that, it's the message is not to only stay in the church, but is to go beyond the church. Did you face any challenge in terms of um, backlash from maybe members of the choir or from your music director or from your pastor? Maybe at a point in time you were getting so many programs you were not getting time for the church choir anymore. Did you receive any backlash or anything like that from church?
That question is quite interesting
Mm.
because, in my own case, I didn't have to face that. And that's because I did what I was supposed to do, which is taking permission and knowing when to, go out to honor programs to make sure that at that time it doesn't clash with what the program of the church, and that's where timing becomes very important. Depending on the church that you find yourself, some church may not really support the idea of you going out to minister. Some church may support the idea of you going out to minister. But I think any pastor who genuinely sends a call of God upon your life will not want to keep you, at the spot. At the same time, it comes to self-discipline for you to also know that, okay, especially when the demand is not really high when you start. to make sure that when you accept your invitations, or for instance, if your church is having a convention, um, as a wise, child of God, you shouldn't, take programs at that time so you can be of service to your primary assignment, which is the house you're serving with at the time. But it comes to a time where even you will know, your pastor will know that at this point, I think we need to raise up other people so these other ones can, go face what God has called them to do.
You make a profound statement here about timing. And I think that that
Yes.
has been one thing that has bedeviled a lot of singers because we are not able to plan our time very well. And before you realize, we are accepting programs that clashes with church activities. And when we are not able to go and it clashes with the church activities, it looks as if the church is tiring us down, and they are not allowing us to explore out there. So for me, it's a very profound statement there that I believe, and I wish that every singer watching this program would accept that and actually plan, have a sense of good timing, so that it is not going to clash with any church activities. Now, let's go further up in terms of support from family. When you released in 2015, when you released Drink from the River, had you married?
Yes. I was already 4 years into
Wow. Wow.
my marriage then, and family has always been of tremendous support. My wife, my brother, my sister, and my cousins, family has always been there. My in-laws, and most importantly, my children have great support.
I was going to ask you some questions about them, but you finish answering, and I'll ask you some questions about them.
Yeah.
So, Minister Evans, has there been a
Yes.
time where you've written your songs? So when you write your songs, do you sing it to your family first? Do you call your wife and you say, "Darling, I have a song. Listen to how it sounds, and what do you think about it?" Do you do that?
Yes. And one thing I had to train myself to start doing is to be blessed, first of all, by any song that God gives me. Because if a song doesn't bless me personally, if I don't get ministered to, how is it going to affect people around? So when I receive a song like that, I sing it at home. We use it during our worship time. And, it gets to a point where my children even know the songs before they are even recorded. Right now, there's none of my songs that they hear that they will not know that, oh, that is song, you know. And for me, it means a lot. There's a new song that is coming out this summer that I wrote. One of the days we're just in a car, just going somewhere. So we started listening to, we're just singing a part, and then a line just came, and my wife started repeating that line, and I quickly grabbed my phone and I recorded what she was doing because it made sense. And I went to the studio and I did that, that particular line in the song, and it's going to be beautiful. It's awesome. So, yes, my family always listen to the song and they hear the song first. Not all,
Not
but
all.
most of the songs.
Have you ever come up with a song where they've said, "This one, Daddy, this one is not too." It's not too. Have you ever come up with a song that your wife has said, "No, this one, I changed this one. I think this one is not flowing well. Um, change it or add this or do that." Has there been a time?
None that I can remember. No, none that I can remember.
I'm
The
asking.
acceptance is just tremendous.
Yeah, yeah. I'm asking all these questions because a lot of the times we get
Yeah.
into the happiness of it. We release our songs and we realize that we keep going, traveling, and moving around and leaving our wives behind. And it's like it's our ministry. We don't involve them. And so that I just want people to learn. from these interviews. The reason for these interviews is that I want somebody to learn from Minister Evans Ighodalo, learn something special that you think he's doing in his ministry that is making him blossom. And so, like you're saying, you get a song, and the new one that is about to come out. You said your wife did something. Immediately you heard it, you picked up your phone and you recorded. Why? Because you realized it was very good. Amen. It tells us that our wives can play key role in our singing careers if we allow them.
Yes.
If we allow them. And so I'm very, I know I'm pushing you to the wall, but
no, I'm here.
This is the reason why I ask such questions. Now, I know they've been very supportive. Your parents, your in-laws, and everybody has been very supportive. Are you doing this a full time?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. I started out when I finished university. I started working, and at some point, I knew I wasn't having time to face the ministry. Now, remember, I started in 1999.
That's right.
Then I recorded my first song in 2015. So throughout all those period, I was going to school and I started working. So in 2013, December, the Lord gave me an idea to start up a business.
Wow.
Which I did back then in Abuja, Nigeria.
Okay.
So I resigned my job voluntarily, then set up a company. Then I had time to do music, because one of the challenges that now I haven't said so far is because I've decided not to focus on the negatives. But as a child of God, you should be able to share some things so we can encourage people. In this journey, I've realized that there's a time when people don't believe in your vision, where you need to believe in your vision and believe in what God has called you to do, and find a better way or find a way to achieve it. Now, until people start seeing you succeeding, they may never want to help you.
Wow.
And for me, setting up that business, I had money, I could buy cars, but I wasn't buying cars. I was going to the studio to record my songs. So within 2015 till now, I have recorded about 30 something and over 30 songs. My first album had about 14 to 15 tracks. I have like 6 singles already.
Wow.
And I have another 8 songs that are yet to be out. My second album, I'm done recording my second project right now that I've not released. And all of this is because when I was doing my business then, any profit I was making I was using it to record, of course, take care of the family, but also majorly, serving, doing my music, and so it gave me a kind of pressure not to depend on what I want to get immediately from the music, because doing music is expensive, especially when you have to shoot videos, when you have to record songs. Some of those songs that you're seeing that we give out free downloads or back home in Africa, most of those songs at time cost us over $500 to produce. That's because I'm using my friends to produce them, because you have to record some of them live. You have to pay for studio time, pay the backup singers, and so if you don't have a kind of support, let me say financial support from sources, you need to start something. I have people buzzing me up on the internet. Okay, I want to do ministry. Please, I want to record my songs. I don't have money. And I just look at them and I laugh. It's like, but you have your 2 hands. You can decide to take up a job somewhere. And when the money starts coming in, of course, pay your tithe, give your offering, be responsible, but also have something aside where you can keep, to start recording your music. And to get to a point where, like, until my first album came out, that was when I even had people that started giving me money. That not everybody, but I had some people that were like, oh, I love the project, take this, take that. But trust me, all that they've given now is not even compared to what I've invested in personally. That's because of, I believe that the purpose of why God is giving me the connection, the money, and all of that is to, put it back into what He has called me to do. And to get to a point where the music will start taking care of itself.
I'm very excited at this. You know why? Because I
Yeah.
have always advised the young up and coming gospel artist, I mean, in terms of always making sure that you find something to do as work that can support you, because
Yeah,
it is
boy.
a ministry and sometimes it can be frustrating, you know. It can be very frustrating, but if you're able to stand on your feet, find something to do, and not decide to do that all by yourself, but you go to school and push yourself up and find a work to do that you can support. Like you rightly said, you've been recording all these songs. Supposing you don't have anything, how would you have recorded these songs? You know, it would have been very difficult. I know God provides, but God gives us wisdom to also go through it. So for me, you are
Yeah.
a role model out there to anybody who is watching and wants to endeavor to go into it. Sometimes you get discouraged, but you need to stay
Yes, many
focused.
times.
Yes, many times. Let me ask you this. What are some of the challenges, apart from the few ones you've explained in terms of financial assistance and all that? What are some of the challenges that you faced recording from 2015 and coming up? What are some of the challenges that you faced?
Well, some of them, recording music is just one thing.
Mm.
Promoting your music is another thing. And some of the challenges I've faced is in the promotion aspect. Now, let me tell you why. If you spend, let's say, $1,000 to promote this, to produce a song, you will need as much as more than 1,000 to promote that song. Your promotion determines the, of course. The hand of God is upon us. God is the ultimate promoter, no doubt. But I'm just talking professionally now. And back home in Africa, we have bloggers, we have radio stations, and some of the challenges I've had is in the area of really promoting the songs the way I would love to. And you see, one thing I've realized is there's a strategy, and I'm going to share it so that somebody can be blessed. Now, I believe in promoting your songs using bloggers, using radio stations, and all of that. But I believe the best promotion any artist can do to himself is to invest in your work, invest in your, how do I put it, in developing yourself, your content. It will get to a point where your content will become so attractive that these bloggers will start coming for you. Now, not everybody can, do what you are doing as you're doing right now, Pastor Anthony. Some people want to charge money for it to say, okay, for you to come on air, I need to charge you this amount. You know, not everybody have that understanding that you know this could also be a service. Okay, how did you get there? Come and explain it. You see, and then you play the video and all of that. And some people will demand for a fee, which is okay if that's what they do for a living. But I realized that most of the guys that I was using initially are very close to me. They are my friends, and I didn't want to take them for granted, being that we're friends. So I paid for their services. I asked for their plans, and they gave me their plans, and I paid for their services. But I realized that beyond that, there is more, and you need to focus more on your content and develop it to the level that it becomes attractive, that even people that don't know you would reach out for that project. It makes your promotion a bit easier. Take, for example, Pastor Nathan Abasi does not even need any blogger right now. Why? Because he has developed himself to that point where, as a matter of fact, God has lifted him so much that, take for example, if you go to his Instagram handle, anytime he drops an announcement, it's a major announcement. And so I can see him, he has gotten to that level where anything he says, it's not, it doesn't echo, it becomes a statement. So if he releases a song today, all he needs to do is to just go to his Instagram. Oh, I'm releasing this song. You have over 1 million people that are seeing that. And for me, the message is about how many people you can reach. And that's the strategy. And that's what we're trusting God for right now, to reach more people. But I think once in a while, you need to sit back and you look, okay, I've done this. I've been blogging my song since 2015, which is good. But sorry about that. Okay. You need to, develop new strategies like shooting video, doing your music videos, and promoting your content. Yes.
So, I mean, I am learning a lot, and I'm excited. I'm so excited that you're saying all these things, because these are things that I keep talking about it back home in Ghana. These are things I keep telling the young ones, encouraging them, and I have always believed in one thing. I believe it as a ministry, and for those who are watching me who knew me back in Ghana, anything I'm doing, I encourage the gospel acts. I have never received a penny from any gospel act to promote their songs. And why? I see it as a calling. And I am excited that anytime I do that, it opens greater doors for me that money could have opened. And so for me, I see it as a service. And remember how we interacted? It was just on Instagram. I sent you a message and you replied. And here we are today. That is what God asked us to do in the kingdom. Jesus was all about love and caring for each other. We're going to go for your video again one more time. So we'll go for a video break. When we come back, we're going to delve deeper into your stage performances, your live shows, and the team you have around you. How many people do you have around you? Who is doing what? Because that is very also important. You cannot be an island. You cannot run everything yourself. So those around you is very important. So we're going to go for the video again. When we come back, we'll continue from there.
Holy Father, you are reverenced in this place. Awesome ruler, you are reverenced in this place. Great and mighty God, you are reverenced in this place. Beginning and the end, yes you are. You are referenced in this place. Have your way. Oh, oh, oh. Have your way. Oh, oh, Holy Father, you are reverenced in this place. are reverenced in this place. Oh God, our Father, you are reverenced in this place. The first and the last, yes you are. You are reverenced in this place. Have your way. Oh, 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 oh. Have your way. Oh, Lord. Oh, oh. Have your way. Hey, canele bosani ane bosate ana. Kane yara bose kane. Mare de rosana de nebo. Kale yare bose na. Ine sumere bosane yakate yana. Yeah. Holy Father, you are reverenced in this place. Oh yes you are. Oh, mighty defender, you are reverenced in this place. Oh yes you are. Awesome ruler, you are reverenced, you are welcome, you are honored here. We worship you, God. We honor you. We reverence you, God. You are mighty. You are awesome. You are worthy, God. Hey, my son, awesome. Abba, Father. You are worthy, God. You are awesome, Father. I will worship you forever. Oh, oh.
Welcome back from the break there. And we've been talking to Minister Evans Ighodalo, and that was his video that you just watched, Have Your Way. In fact, our tete-a-tete is getting interesting, hotter and hotter. We're going to go back to him again, and we want to ask him about his team around him, who does what, and is it even important to have a team around him? Does he have a band? How does he do his live ministrations? So let's go to Minister Evans here, and then welcome back, man of God. I want to ask you, do you have a team around you, and a team of how many people, and who does what?
Thank you very much. Right here in the United States, I do not have a team yet. And that's because of some things that I'm putting in place. Okay, but when I was still in Abuja, I got a team together that used to work on my songs. But that doesn't mean that right now I do not have a team of people that work with me. Now, because of the sound and the concept that I have two major guys that produce my music for me. One is his name is Godwin Hillary. He's based in Abuja. I have a team of guys that are fantastic musicians. So when I have a song, I send it over to them. They already understand my style. They already know what I like. And then they go into the studio, play everything, and they send it to me. I go in and I record here. And then I also have some singers back home in Abuja. And the reason why the team is yet to be formed here is just because I've just been 1 year and 2 months right now that I moved into the United States. So, but because putting a team together, you have to be careful to put the right people together because what we do is spiritual. So I just want to be led by God to put the right people. However, I've tried working with one or two people since I came, but already I'm beginning to, spot some people that I would love to work with now that I'm here. Yes, but it's very, very important that you have a team. You can't do it alone. So I do have a team of people that work on my projects. They may not all be physically in the same place, but whenever I have a song, I know who to call. I know the people to get together to produce a song.
Have you ever thought of having a collaboration with another artiste from another country? Have you tried that before? Have you done that before?
Thank you very much. I have tried. And let me state here that you also need to be led.
That's right.
Because whoever you feature on your music matters.
It does.
I'll explain. Now, when I came into the US, around December, I just sat back and in appraisal to see, okay, what have I achieved? How's my year been? And all of a sudden, I just started having a feeling to close my Instagram account. The Instagram account I'm currently running is a new one this one was my personal private account that was private for a long time. So I just opened it up to the general public. But I had one that I was doing my music with. That one already grew. I was heading to having 40,000 followers on that account. And I had categorically that I should close down that account and then start building this new one. For me, it was hard. It wasn't easy because that's the one that most of my friends, most people back home knew me on. And so at the time, there's a particular lady I wanted to feature on a song, and I contacted her. Yes, she didn't turn the offer down. She's an American, but she was yet to have started releasing her own song. So she got back to me that she accepted the song and everything, and we got talking. And all of a sudden, she wrote back to me that please, that she would like to release her own song first to be known for her own songs before she decided to go on someone's project. So that was how that one went by. However, I have featured. I did a song for Nigeria last year. I featured some artists that are based here in Boston, about three of them. Also, there's something good coming out this year. I'm not going to let out who the person is, but trust me, we've concluded, and the man of God has accepted to be on the song. It's a well-known gospel artist from Nigeria.
That's right.
Yes, we're privileged to have
I
known
could start
him.
guessing already.
You may not actually get because I have deliberately stopped liking his post on Instagram. I've deliberately stopped commenting on his post so people don't see it coming. Because one thing I know is it's good for people to anticipate, but at times it's always good to just come up with something and let the world see it. It's good to walk behind the scene and when you're done. But trust me, the song is already been. We have the sample of the song. I'm getting some fantastic people for the backup vocals, and it's going to cost me money, but I want to do this one very well. The background vocals are all Black Americans. This is the first time I'll be using them, and they are worshipers. So they've heard the song, also they like it. So we are currently signing the contracts. I'm waiting for them to send me so we can sign it and they can start doing their part. And then when all is set, definitely you will have the song so you can share it with.
That's right. That's right.
And to be interesting, God has recently connected me with some wonderful brothers from Ghana.
Mm.
You know, they're fantastic people, and I love the spirit of the brethren from Ghana. They are very honest
Exactly.
people.
Exactly. Very honest.
So one of them is promoting my song on Spotify right now, and he puts it in
Wow.
Ghana Praise and Worship. I was surprised,
Wow.
you
Wow.
know, that he could accept the song.
Mm.
You know, and I have another friend here in Boston. He's a Ghanaian. I have another one, Pastor Denzel Prempe. I don't know if you know him.
Of course, I know. I know Denzel very well.
Oh,
I know
awesome man
Denzel
of
very
God
well.
with a great spirit. He also
Very
linked me up
great
to.
minstrel. Very great
He
minstrel.
linked me up with another great friend now, Boateng. Is it
Yeah.
Boateng?
Yeah. Boateng.
Junior
Yeah.
Boateng.
Yeah.
Boateng.
Mm.
Fantastic guy.
Sure.
I think Junior Boateng plays for Joe Mettel.
That's right.
Oh, you know him also.
Of course, I
Great.
do.
So we've had a meeting. He's a fantastic guy. He's ready to work with me. So that's why I mentioned about the team. So he's just waiting for me to be ready.
Mm.
Because we've
Mm.
discussed everything. I've asked him what and what we need to do. He's told me. So as soon as I'm ready, as I'm talking to you right now, he has all the new songs that I'm yet to release.
Good.
Even the one that I just released, you are what he already has it. He's
Yes.
in the studio. So
Mm.
he's listened to all the songs. He's so excited. He's
Mm.
seen what he can work on when we want to do live administration. So yeah,
I think you're in good hands because for all the people you've watched, Minister Denzel, Jumetel, these are great acts, not only for Africa, but also for the world. And I'm happy that you connected with such Ghanaians. Their ministry
yes,
is blossoming. They know all about live recordings because Minister Denzel
yes,
has a program he does annually. Jumetel also has a program he does annually. They record live all the time. And so for me, I'm excited that you are in these hands because these are people who have a heart of worship. And when you are in their hands, trust me, you go very, very far. Now, last two questions before I let you go.
so, sorry, hold on, sir.
Yeah.
I'm yet to meet Joe Mattel,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I've met Junior Boateng
Okay. And then Denzel.
through Pastor Denzel.
Okay. Mm.
Pastor Denzel linked me up with him.
Okay.
And now Juno Boateng is ready to link me up with
Joe
Joe
Metal.
Patel.
That's
So
right.
anytime ready. But for the major project live recording I'll be doing,
Mm.
I'm going to be working with Junior Boateng.
That's right.
He's a great producer,
He's
a
very good.
fantastic guy,
He's,
he's
he's a great
experienced.
producer too. Mm.
I love his music. I love his spirit.
He has a great heart for Christ.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I always say that those who have a great heart, you don't hear too much of them. Yes, they are just and they keep supporting others to really come up. Before I let you go, now, do you see yourself as a worshiper, as a praise leader, or as a psalmist? How do you call your ministry?
Thank you very much. That's a good question. I'm a worshiper.
Mm, mm,
I'm a praise leader.
mm,
And I'm also a psalmist.
mm.
I'll explain. Mm, if you listen to my first album, it explains my area of strength. Now, I've been exposed vastly in music, so but my core is in worship. That's where my heart is. Yes,
Mm.
yes.
Mm.
But I'm vast. I can do praise songs. I can
Sure.
do, African. But when it comes to worship, that's where my heart is.
It's really important that I keep always encouraging the young ones that you always need to know what your calling is. You can be versatile, like you're saying, you can be versatile and do all, but you have to know which calling, yes. And when you're able to identify it, you blossom and you make impact in that area. Once in a while, yes, you could be doing the praise, you could be doing all over, but there's a calling which you need to identify, and that only comes from spending time in the presence of the Holy
I,
Spirit.
I
To
agree.
yes, to commune with that. So finally, I want to leave you. I don't want to bother you too much. What advice will you give to up and coming artist. First and foremost, I want you to thank some people who have contributed tremendously to your ministry, and then also to give a sort of advice to young up and coming gospel artists who are in a hurry to make it out there. They are in a hurry to get a name. They are in a hurry to get their first paycheck and buy the biggest car to show to the world that God has blessed them. What will you tell them? What advice do you have for them? First, thank the people first, and then advise the young ones.
All right. First of all, want to thank my wife for her support, and so also thank all the pastors that I've worked with. I've served in Redeem. I use this opportunity to thank the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Adeboye. I love so much in the man that when I got born again, I was attracted to him. His humility, his holiness was something that was really, I really loved that about him, and that drew me to the Redeem. And I also want to thank the friend pastors I've worked with in the past. I've worked with Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo in Koza. I was there for 8 years. I want to also thank my pastor in school. He may not be watching this, but who knows? He can come across this. Pastor Wale Akirambi. I worked with Pastor Francis. I want to thank all the pastors that have affected my life. Pastor Chris Oyakilome, Pastor Paul Adeferesin, and a whole lot of them. And I want to thank my friends, people that have affected me musically. I'll start with my former music director, Dunsi Onyeko, Nathan Obasi, Sinach, and I want to thank the musicians that have been playing with me, and most especially my producers, Greenworks, Godwin Hillary, and the singers that have been working closely with me, Sonny, my friend that plays drum, Coco, Cario, and a whole lot of them, Ima. There's so much. If I want to thank everybody, we may not really have the time to, but I want to thank the body of Christ in general for accepting our music, because if you don't listen to our music, if you don't help us share it, people may never get to hear this message. And I want to thank most especially Pastor Anthony Simpson for believing in me and for inviting me over for this interview. I want to also thank my new brothers in Christ, Pastor Denzel, Brother Joe Boateng, and a whole lot of them. And my advice I love saying upgoing. When we say upcoming, I don't really want to see us as there yet. So I just say all the upgoing artists. I want to say that God is the only one that can truly promote you. Believe in God. Trust that He that called is able to perform it. And once you're sure of your calling, start praying for God to bring the right people your way. And start praying for God to put you in the right company, because the company you keep, the environment you find yourself, determine how fast you move musically. So always make sure you're in the right place where your gift is harnessed and you are pointed in the right direction, and that you're planted in the house of the Lord. With that, my brother, my sister, God will take you places. It's in His promise. He told Abraham that I'll make you great. I'll make of you a great nation, and I'll make your name great. Yes, everybody may not want to say it out, but it is something that should be desired to be known. There's nothing wrong with being known, because if you are not known, how will you pass your message across? But always do a check in your heart that, am I just after the fame, or am I out to make impact through music? Mind you, the two are intertwined. If you are not making impact, you will not be famous. So it depends on the kind of impact you're making anyway. Make the right impact, not the wrong impact. And keep producing those songs, keep spreading the message through your music, and God will bless you tremendously. Thank you.
All right. God bless you so much, my brother. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being with us today. And I want to
You're welcome.
continue to say that your ministry will blossom because you have a humble heart.
Amen.
And
Amen.
it's my prayer that the Lord will take you to the highest mountain. There's a song by BB and Sisi that Lord lift us up where we belong, up where the mountain goes and where the eagles fly. And so that's where my prayer is, that the Lord will lift your ministry
Amen.
up to and continue to remain humble, and the good Lord will continue to bless you. Whatever we will do
Amen.
to also push the ministry, we will continue to do it. We will call upon you
Thank you.
anytime to grant you the interview and to also push your songs when they come out. Even your live shows, when you do them, let me know, and then we'll push them and also continue to encourage you for that. God bless you so much, Minister Evans Ighodalo. I'm so excited. God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much, Pastor Anthony Simpson. I'm grateful to be here.
All right, sir.
And
Thank you.
thank you for listening to us today.
All right. All right. So that was Minister Evans Ighodalo. And like you only saw just one of his video. He has a lot of songs, and as time goes on, we'll be playing most of his songs on Zoe Light Radio, and would always encourage him. We'll continue to push him. But hey, wonderful advice that he gave to. He says he wouldn't say upcoming, but he rather say upgoing. So I'm gonna borrow his term. Young, wonderful advice he gave to upgoing artists. Remain steadfast in the Lord. Remain steadfast in the Lord, and don't be in a hurry to get out there for the fame. But you see, you must look for the popularity in the right frame of mind and following the steps of Christ. It's been awesome on this wonderful program, Word Through Music. And I keep telling you, it is called Word Through Music. Why? Because we preach through music. We are not called evangelists. We are not called prophets. We are not called bishops. We are not called archbishops. But we preach through music. And that's why the program is called Word Through Music. Thank you so much for being with me this afternoon. And next week, same time, 1 p.m., I'm going to be here with another wonderful minstrel. May the good Lord bless you. Continue to listen to Zoe Light Radio. Continue to share our programs on social media. And continue, if you have not downloaded the app yet, please download the app or go to our website, zoelightradio.org, and listen live to all our programs. Now, if you're an artist out there, whichever country you are, and you watch this interview, and you want to be interviewed on this show, please call this number, 301-221-5727. If you're in the United States of America, 301-221-5727 or 301-825-2046. Now, you can also reach us on zoelightradio@gmail.com. zoelightradio@gmail.com. DM me and we will take it from there. There are many of you. You could also go to Instagram, for those of you who are on Facebook, for those of you who are on Twitter, for those of you who are all over the place. Please look for Zoe Light Radio and download the app on your Android phone or your iPhone and just keep listening. Go to zoelightradio.org and then download or listen live into the program. Like I said, if you're an artist, you watch this interview and you want to be part, you want to be interviewed on this program, call 301-221-5727, 301-221-5727, or 301-825-2046, and you will be given the opportunity to also be interviewed. My name is Pastor Anthony Simpson. Thank you for being with me, and may the good Lord continue to bless you. See you same time next week, Saturday, 1 p.m.